I have sat with thousands of people in examination rooms, watched them age, watched them struggle, and watched some of them flourish in ways that surprised even me. What I began to notice somewhere around my 20th year of practice was that the people who remained vibrant and healthy past 70 were not the ones following the most extreme diets or the latest health trends. They were not the ones who had given up everything they enjoyed or turned their lives into a constant battle against aging. They were the people who had learned something much simpler and much harder at the same time. They had learned how to be consistent with the basics without making those basics feel like punishment. They had found a way to live that felt natural, sustainable, and even joyful. I remember one patient in particular who came to see me when she was 73. She had more energy than many of my 50-year-old patients. Her blood work looked better than it had any right to look. Her mind was sharp. Her spirit was bright. When I asked her what her secret was, she laughed and said she did not have one. But as we talked, I began to see the pattern. She walked every morning. She ate real food most of the time. She slept well. She had people she cared about. She did not obsess over perfection. She simply showed up for herself every single day in small, manageable ways. That conversation changed how I thought about longevity and health in older age. Most people think that after a certain age, the damage is already done. They believe that the choices they made in their 30s and 40s have sealed their fate, and now they are simply managing decline. I want you to hear this clearly. That is not true. Your body at 70 is not the same body you had at 30, but it is still remarkably capable of healing, adapting, and growing stronger. I have seen it happen over and over again. I have watched people reverse years of damage simply by starting to care for themselves in consistent, thoughtful ways. The mistake most people make is thinking that health after 70 requires something extreme. They think they need to become vegan overnight or run marathons or give up every food they have ever enjoyed. They approach their health like it is a crisis that requires drastic measures. What happens then is predictable. They burn out. They give up. They go back to old habits and feel like they have failed. The truth is, extreme approaches rarely work for anyone, but they especially do not work as we age. Our bodies need stability. Our minds need peace. The people who thrive in their 70s and 80s are not the ones who are constantly at war with themselves. They are the ones who have made peace with aging and learned to work with their bodies rather than against them. I want you to think about what you ate yesterday, not to judge yourself, but just to notice. Did you eat real food, or did you eat things that came out of packages and boxes? Did you feel nourished after your meals, or did you feel sluggish and heavy? One of the most powerful shifts I see in people who improve their health after 70 is a return to simple, real food. I am not talking about anything complicated. I am talking about vegetables, fruits, proteins that come from actual animals or plants, whole grains, healthy fats, food that looks like food. The problem is that our food system has become so processed, so refined, so stripped of nutrients that many people have forgotten what real food even tastes like. They have grown used to the intense flavors of salt, sugar, and artificial ingredients. When they try to eat simply, it feels boring. It feels like deprivation. But here is what I have learned. If you can push through that initial discomfort, something shifts. Your taste buds recalibrate. You start to notice the natural sweetness in a carrot, the richness in a piece of salmon, the satisfaction of a warm bowl of oats in the morning. You stop craving the things that were making you feel terrible. This does not happen overnight, but it does happen. Let me be very clear about something. I am not telling you to never eat dessert again. I'm not telling you to give up bread or cheese or wine or any of the things that bring you pleasure. What I'm asking you to consider is whether those things are the foundation of your diet or the occasional accent, because that is where the difference lies. The people I see who are thriving in their later years are not the ones who never indulge. They are the ones who have built a foundation of nourishing food and then enjoy treats without guilt and without excess. They understand that one piece of cake at a birthday party is not going to ruin their health, but eating cake for breakfast every morning will. This might sound obvious, but you would be surprised how many people lose sight of this balance. They swing between extremes. They are either rigidly controlled or completely uncontrolled. Neither approach serves them well. What serves them is consistency, flexibility, and a deep understanding that food is meant to fuel and nourish, not punish or reward. Now let me talk about movement, because this is where I see the most fear and the most missed opportunity. People hear the word exercise and they immediately think of gyms, weights, running, things that feel intimidating or inaccessible. They think they need to do something intense or it does not count. That belief keeps so many people stuck. Let me tell you what I tell my patients. Movement is medicine. It does not have to be extreme to be effective. In fact, the most effective movement for people over 70 is often the kind that feels easy and natural. Walking is one of the most powerful things you can do for your body. It strengthens your heart, improves circulation, supports your joints, clears your mind, and helps you sleep better. It costs nothing. It requires no special equipment. You can do it at your own pace. And yet, so many people dismiss it because it does not feel like enough. They think that unless they are sweating and breathless, they are not really exercising. That mindset is holding them back. I have had patients who started walking just 10 minutes a day. That is all. 10 minutes around the block. They did that for a few weeks, and then it became 15 minutes, then 20. Within a few months, they were walking 30 or 40 minutes most days of the week, and the changes in their health were remarkable. Their blood pressure improved, their blood sugar stabilized, they lost weight without trying. They felt stronger, more capable, more alive, all from walking. Now, I am not saying that walking is the only form of movement that matters. Strength is important too, especially as we age. Muscle mass naturally declines with age, and that decline accelerates if we do not actively work to maintain it. Loss of muscle leads to loss of independence. It makes everyday tasks harder. It increases the risk of falls. It affects metabolism and bone density. So yes, building and maintaining muscle matters, but you do not need a gym membership or heavy weights to do that. Body weight exercises, resistance bands, lifting light weights at home, these are all enough. What matters is consistency, not intensity. Here's something I wish more people understood. Your body wants to move. It is designed to move. When you stop moving, everything starts to decline. Your joints stiffen, your muscles weaken, your balance falters, your mood drops. Movement is not just about physical health. It is about mental health, emotional health, cognitive health. I see people who are sedentary become depressed, anxious, forgetful. I see people who start moving regularly become sharper, happier, more engaged with life. The connection is undeniable. And yet, so many people think of movement as optional, as something they will get to when they have time or energy. The truth is, movement gives you energy. It does not take it away. If you are feeling tired and sluggish, the worst thing you can do is sit still. The best thing you can do is get up and move, even if it is just for 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes can shift everything. Let me talk about sleep for a moment, because this is something that changes as we age. and most people do not know how to adapt. When you were younger, you could probably get away with less sleep. You could stay up late, wake up early, push through fatigue. Your body was resilient. It recovered quickly. But as you age, sleep becomes even more important, and at the same time, it often becomes more elusive. Many of my older patients tell me they wake up multiple times during the night. They have trouble falling asleep. They wake up too early and cannot get back to sleep. They feel tired all day, but wired at night. This is incredibly common, and it is incredibly frustrating. Poor sleep affects everything. It affects your mood, your memory, your immune system, your metabolism, your ability to heal. It makes you more susceptible to illness. It increases inflammation. It clouds your thinking. And yet, so many people accept poor sleep as an inevitable part of aging. They do not realize that there are things they can do to improve it. First, your sleep environment matters more than you think. Is your room dark enough? Is it cool enough? Is it quiet enough? These might seem like small details, but they have a big impact. Your body needs darkness to produce melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Even small amounts of light from a clock or a street light can interfere. Your body also sleeps better in a cooler room. If your bedroom is too warm, you will wake up more often. Noise is another factor. If you live in a noisy area, consider a white noise machine or earplugs. These are simple fixes, but they can make a real difference. Second, your habits before bed matter. If you're looking at screens right up until you close your eyes, you are making it harder to fall asleep. The blue light from phones, tablets, and televisions interferes with melatonin production. Your brain needs time to wind down. Try setting a boundary. No screens for the last hour before bed. Use that time to read, stretch, take a warm bath, listen to music, anything that helps you relax. Third, what you eat and drink in the evening affects your sleep. Caffeine stays in your system longer than most people realize. If you are drinking coffee or tea in the late afternoon or evening, it could be keeping you awake. Alcohol might make you feel sleepy at first, but it disrupts your sleep cycles and causes you to wake up during the night. Heavy meals close to bedtime can cause discomfort and indigestion. Pay attention to these patterns. Notice how your choices affect your sleep. Now let me address something that does not get talked about enough. Loneliness and isolation are as dangerous to your health as smoking or obesity. I have seen this in my practice over and over again. People who lose their spouse, who drift away from friends, who stop engaging with their community, they decline rapidly. It is not just emotional, it is physical. Loneliness increases inflammation, raises blood pressure, weakens the immune system, and accelerates cognitive decline. Human beings are not meant to be alone. We are social creatures. We need connection, purpose, and belonging. As you age, it becomes easier to isolate. Friends move away or pass away. Family gets busy. Mobility decreases. It takes more effort to get out and see people. But that effort is worth it. The people I see who are aging well are the ones who have maintained strong social connections. They have friends they see regularly. They have activities they participate in. They have people they care about and who care about them. This does not have to be a huge social circle. Even one or two close relationships can make a profound difference. If you are feeling isolated, I want you to think about what small step you could take to change that. Could you join a group at your local library or community center? Could you volunteer somewhere? Could you reach out to an old friend you have lost touch with? Could you take a class, join a walking group, attend a religious service? The specifics do not matter as much as the intention. What matters is that you are putting yourself in situations where connection is possible. I know this can feel vulnerable. It can feel scary to put yourself out there, especially if you have been alone for a while. But the risk of staying isolated is far greater than the risk of reaching out. You deserve to have people in your life. You deserve to feel seen and valued. And the truth is, there are other people out there who feel just as lonely as you do. When you reach out, you are not just helping yourself. You are helping them too. Let me come back to something I said earlier because I think it is the most important point I can make. The people who become what I call rare gems of health after 70 are not the ones who do everything perfectly. They are the ones who show up for themselves consistently in small, sustainable ways. They do not wait for motivation. They do not wait to feel like it. They just do the things that matter, even when it is hard, even when it is boring, even when they do not see immediate results. This is discipline, but it is also self-respect. It is recognizing that you are worth the effort, that your health matters, that your quality of life matters, that the choices you make today will shape how you feel tomorrow, next week, next year. You do not have control over everything. You cannot stop aging. You cannot prevent every illness, but you have far more control than you think. You can choose what you eat. You can choose to move your body. You can choose to prioritize sleep. You can choose to stay connected to people. You can choose to manage stress. You can choose to see your doctor regularly and address problems early. These choices compound over time. They add up. They create a foundation of health that allows you to live fully, joyfully, and independently for as long as possible. I have been practicing medicine for more than 4 decades now, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that age is not the enemy. Neglect is the enemy. Giving up is the enemy. Believing that it is too late to make a difference is the enemy. I have seen people transform their health at 70, at 80, even at 90. I have seen people who were told they had no hope make changes that gave them years of vibrant, meaningful life. I have seen people who thought they were destined to decline discover strength they did not know they had. You are capable of more than you realize. Your body is more resilient than you think. But you have to meet it halfway. You have to care for it. You have to show up, not perfectly, not flawlessly, just consistently. That is the secret. There is no magic pill. There is no shortcut. There is only the daily practice of caring for yourself with intention and compassion. And when you do that, something remarkable happens. You do not just add years to your life. You add life to your years. You wake up feeling capable. You move through your day with energy. You sleep soundly at night. You feel present, engaged, alive. That is what I want for you. That is what is possible. And it starts with one small choice, one small action, one small commitment to yourself. You do not have to overhaul your entire life today. You just have to take one step, and then another, and then another, and before you know it, you will look back and realize how far you have come. You will realize that you are not just surviving, you are thriving, and that, my friend, is the rarest and most precious gift you can give yourself.